Hello people, this is Ryder here to review the Armor Hero XT Super Ares Summoner. This one I actually knew the name of because it's literally right here because I had to use a translator. So this is the 2025 release of this item. So this one's actually pretty recent. Because beforehand, the Ares Summoner was actually re-released within its original packaging from Armor Hero XT in 2023. But it's essentially that version, but now with a new box, I think. But speaking of the box, it's in similar vein to the Armor Hero Engraved series box, with Armor Hero Ares on the left, like so. The Ares Summoner right there. This says Shura, but Shura translated as Ares. There's the Armor Hero XT logo, front or top to bottom. This is the old read. Well, it's up there too. It just says Armor Hero right here. I say this is in a similar vein to the Armor Hero not the Armor Hero Engraved, the Armor Evolved figure line, because this is literally the figure right here. Because you can see a Phillip head and the joint right there. So, and again, this is under the Legend of Armor Hero branding, the recap series. But the back, however, you know, it's pretty sleek overall. Again, the Legend of Armor Hero and such. That's just kind of the umbrella term they use for these, for the re-releases for release XT. And yeah, I should obviously address this. Despite this being this was a January release, by the way, and yet, it's my box is all banged up and such. Speaking of that, let's go over the opening process. I'm only doing it for these ones just because it's, you know, their boxes look more premium. So, yeah, there's the front of the box, which weirdly banged up. We have a black plastic tray comprising of the content itself, and then we have instructions, which I know these instructions these are the original instructions, but just reprinted, like reasonably so. It's just that, as you can see there's the production date. But again, like, this is just newly reprinted to just have the copyright up to when this was in production. There's two of these Chinese toy standard specifications. I think it's only supposed to be one, but whoever packed this accidentally packed two. And then I don't remember if the 2023 version had this, but this comes with a poster of Armor Hero Ares, which is cool. It's just a really simple it's a really simple poster, but like it's a cool bonus. Definitely a cool bonus for sure. So and again, the contents itself are in there. Let's put this in correctly. Like, so yeah, basically this is in a big box all because of a poster. Heck, that poster could have been in the original 2012 version. I don't remember, unless it was in 2011. Anyways, let's finally get, oh jeez, let's finally get to this thing. Alright, so here we have the contents of the set. We have the Ares Summoner itself. They just call this the Gauntlet. Alright. So taking a look at the Ares Summoner itself, this is definitely different from the other 3 prior summoners within XT, as obviously they were based off of items, but were mainly essentially belt buckles. But this thing is a phone. This is straight up just a flip phone. A really nice flip phone. Oh, that's unfortunate. As you can see from here, we got this nice, like, maroon-esque purple at this bottom section. We got red, or not red, we got black accents right here for what is mainly silver plastic. And what I think is interesting is that the copyright information's on the side. And then, as you can see from there, this is a 2010 copyright, even though I think this got released in 2012. Again, we got the Oli logo right here. I can't blame them, because you're gonna be holding the phone from here anyway, so it's gonna be blocked and such. And then the front, the cover is really nice. Like, we got the silver paint with the gold accents right here, along the trim with the diamond. And the purple transparent plastic is really nice. We got the speaker holes and red paint right there. Which then, once we flip the phone over, which it's a really tight cover and such. And interestingly enough, I don't know if there is any other toys I own that are like this, but the cover is permanently, like, tilted like this. You can't fold it back because of how this entire mechanism works. There's a transparent peg right there, and then there's a slot for it. And as you can see, it rides up this path to secure it. So, as you can hear from there, it clicks in because that's the peg pressing in and out. And then this requires 2 AAA batteries. But taking a look at the inside, we have the screen for the phone. Is this paint? Oh gosh. Excuse me on that. We got the screen for the phone, which basically tells us all 6 codes for each command. Plus we got mail, contacts, map. We got the battery, we got the date, April 12th, and we got signal. We got the clock, and I didn't translate what this was because I translated the rest of this. So you might be wondering, what are these symbols? That's our keypad. So our keypad has black plastic right there with red accents all around. And then, again, our keypad. I think the way this is supposed to be formatted is that this is our number pad, and these are, like, our specialty buttons. Like, obviously, this is our enter button, but these are our element buttons. So we got fire, wind, lightning, or thunder, and darkness. And then, again, I assume this is our number pad because this is a 2 and a 3, clearly. That's some 1. However, you know, pressing these is kind of, like, pressing them is like an average phone toy, but not in a bad way. Like, if you played with phone toys, I think, like, if you can hear from this, is pretty tactical. However, the number pad is one singular button. Because you can tell why it's a single button. But other than that, that's kind of it with the phone. You can just press these 6 buttons, these 6 face buttons like so, and then close it and such. Next up we have, I'm just going to call it the Aries Gauntlet. I'm not going to just stick with Gauntlet. But this is a cool housing device for sure. Because I think it's cool that like this part of the Gauntlet is really close to how like Aries' like arm gauntlet is. I think it's really cool. This thing is a piece of plastic, but it's a nice piece of plastic. We got nice gold all around right here, and then the front here too, along with the red accents. Again, the black filled in to here to fit the silhouette of the gauntlet. And this was present since the 2023 version, or the release of this item. I'm pretty sure that's what the bottom here is too, but the big thing about the 2023 release is that they finally painted the inside of the gauntlet. Before, this was just gray plastic, but now it's more show accurate with the black, the red outline, and the silver arrow or indicator and such. And then there is a button here for something. And then to wear this, unlike the Dragon Summoner, this is easier to do. Might as well show that off. This is stuck in there, but you just simply whip this around your wrist like so. You fold it in like so, and now you have the Aries Gauntlet on your wrists. Also forgot to point out the gold here too, but like, you know, again, it's a light piece of plastic and such, but you know, it's fun to just, I think this definitely feels nice in the hand and such. And again, you could do this for later, but don't force it out. But like, you know, it definitely looks cool. The silhouette of it is like really cool in the hand and such. I don't know how the strap would have been done originally, because I'm only 6 episodes in this show. But I mean, they did what they could. I think definitely for sure it's a huge improvement out of the Flame Dragon Summoners just by having this thing already attached and such. But since we have already applied this in, let's get into the sounds for this and such. So immediately when we switch it on, which again, the on and off switch is really tiny and I don't have nails anymore. It's just going to keep ringing. So we'll let it ring. And then it stops. So obviously, you can just press the keypad like so. For some reason, the fire button doesn't like working, but all the other buttons like work fine. It's just this button. So I might need to open it up just to touch it up a bit. I don't know how, but you really have to, I really have to press this one down. But anyways, that's kind of all you can do. It cycles through 4 button sounds because that's how much buttons you need to press for for these combinations. So there's the top one right here, which is the change combination, is the only one you can do outside of the gauntlet. So what you want to do is press the fire, wind, and thunder buttons, and then enter. So then it will be in the standby phase, and then to complete the transformation, load it into the gauntlet like so. So now we are transformed to Armor Hero Ares. Alternatively, you can just insert it like so by aligning this with these grooves and then pressing it in. But then it wouldn't acknowledge that you did input it in, because if you were to input the change combination, it plays the elemental sounds of that button. And I know I went over it quickly, but you have to close this thing immediately after you finish inserting a code, because I forgot to mention, but this thing does light up at every button press. But unfortunately, we can't see it. So let's do this alternative transformation. And I messed up. Because you can close it either before or after you insert it. Now let's do the other 5 combinations. The next one, the Ares Whirlpool, I think it's called. You want to press thunder, wind twice, and then the number pad. So this one opens up the fins out to create a crossbow, which is really cool. Unfortunately, it's the only combination that utilizes this gimmick. And obviously, this is just a lot more better to show. Obviously, this works a lot better on your wrists and such. Next up, to summon the Ares Claw, you want to press win 3 times, and then enter. So basically, it's this section of the gauntlet coming out. Unfortunately, you can't do that. Next one is the Purgatory, or the Ares Purgatory Dagger, which is thunder twice, darkness once, and then enter. Obviously, it's the summoning of, these are just the summoning of these weapons. Then we have the Ares Purgatory Sword, which is fire twice, darkness, and then enter. One of these was called the Halberd. But I think that's what this one is, which is the combination of the sword and the dagger and such, which is darkness 3 times and then enter. I forgot I had my phone on me. World Spinning Claw. No, okay, the claws. I think this opening up are the world splitting claws. The Demon Blade, which is, I think, this, is, yeah, I think that's the Demon Blade. But yeah, I was right. The combined form of the sword and the dagger is the halberd. So luckily I did get that right. I had the wiki behind me and I forgot. That is basically all you can do with this thing. Though you can do your own combinations, as I showed before, by doing the transformation combination. So like you can do lightning, darkness, wind, enter. It just, again, it plays their respective elemental sounds. You can't do any mixed combinations with this button. This button just acts as a normal number pad button. So let's do darkness, fire, darkness. And let's do wind, wind, fire. And then thunder, fire, wind. And yeah. Again, once you're done, just slide it off. You can't do, again, if we try to do the world spinning claw without, out of the gauntlet, nothing. And then if we were to try to do the halberd, no recognition. But then in here, obviously this all works because of this button right there, and then this opens up because of that black button right there. So yeah, hopefully that was everything. I feel like a lot of it was drawn out, which has unfortunately been the case with a lot of these reviews. But yeah, overall, while the functionality, it's really simple, I don't mind it, especially because you have to keep in mind this is a toy from 2012. Unless Ares stuff got released alongside the other three's summoners, but I wouldn't know. I don't really mind this thing's simplicity. I think it's kind of fun, especially because I don't think I own any Toku phones that actually allow us to do like stuff like this. Like, I'm not counting like the Memorial Edition Gokaiger stuff. Like, I just, like, not in the sense of like phrases. I mean like in the sense of like you have to input stuff to get a sound out of it. Like, or to get like an actual like command out of it. Like with Fies, basically. That's what I'm referring to and such. Gokaiger only had the one code that did that. So I think it's really fun to have a toy that does that and such. And again, the thing that makes, I think, this thing interesting compared to the other three summoners within XT is that this one kind of harpens back to the original series. And kind of like the opposite of what the original series did. Because obviously in the original series, all 5 main armor heroes had this device with a different faceplate. But then Emperor Hero had a belt. So then in XT, everyone has belts. Except for Ares. Because Ares, despite being like, I think a big bad for like a portion of the show, he has a mystical phone, flip phone on his side. And it's just, I don't know, it's just funny that the main villain just has a flip phone. Everyone else has a camera, an MP3 player, and a controller that they like slide into their belt. And speaking of their belts, you can because the rails I think are the same, you can load this into their respective belts and such. It's kind of weird because then you have a phone that's literally just kind of like that. But it's cool that it's still the same system and like they didn't change anything and such. Again, because of this being the 2025 re-release, really, again, the only difference between the 2023 re-release and this release is just the box. If you want to go for a box that is in the original style of the toy line, go for the 2023 re-release. But if you want something more in line with the re-releases and more sleeker, then go for this release. Because again, I don't know if the poster is exclusive to this re-release or if it was also present in the last release. I got this off of Superbuy for $24, which I think it's fair for sure, especially because XT is like really popular. XT is like as a series is as popular as like Zero, I think was compared, or I think it was Tiga. No, Tiga was Emperor Hero. But so XT is a really popular show, so their stuff tends to go for higher and such. But that will have to do with this review. This is Ryder. I think that will have to do. I'm sorry.